So, what a game. I woke up this morning and I had a feeling it was going to be a great game, and I had a feeling that Dez Bryant was going to have some phenomenal catch that would be the difference in the game. And I made a video about that. I predicted Dallas to win. I changed my original prediction from last Wednesday. And when I watched it, I was like, hell yeah, I was pumped up when I saw that play. And it would have put Dallas, I think, at the 1 or 2 yard line. Likely would have scored after that, but once they showed it in slow motion and that second replay, I was like, even before the challenge flag was thrown, by the Packers, I was like, oh hell, that's going to be reversed and they're going to take it away because I know about the rule. But what a game. What a unbelievable, unbelievable showcase of talent and extraordinary supreme talent that Dez Bryant showed on that catch. Right there in that catch, or that attempted catch right there, even though it didn't go down as a catch, right there is why Dez Bryant needs to be paid. And it's right there is why Dez Bryant will be paid. If not by the Cowboys, then somebody's definitely going to pay him big time money. We'll talk about the game and my reactions to it, and my reactions to the Detroit Lions fan tweeting and laughing after this game or at that play right here in this video. Zaxter99. So I want to go ahead and start this video off by saying, you know what? I'm damn proud of the Dallas Cowboys. I'm not bitter. I'm not upset. I'm a little bit deflated after seeing us lose, especially after such a spirited attack and such a, great performance by my Cowboys. They went in there and they played it out with all their heart. You just look at how high Dez Bryant jumped up for that ball and what spirit and what heart he had trying to make that catch. I can imagine how disheartening it is for him and for the whole Cowboys and for so many fans to see that play reversed. But I'm not upset. I'm not going to whine about it. I'm really not. You know, I knew when I saw the replays in slow motion that they were going to take it away. And then when the Green Bay Packers threw the challenge, he made a great, athletic catch. That's as athletic and as good a catch as they come. If this would have been Michael Irvin doing this exact same catch in the 90s against Green Bay, which never happened, but if Michael Irvin had done the same thing, exactly the same process where it hits the ground and everything, if that would have been any player in the 90s, but if that would have been Michael Irvin back in the 90s, not only would it have been considered a catch, but it probably would have went down as one of the best catches in NFL history by Michael Irvin. And they definitely wouldn't have taken it away. It's because of this catch through the process, this process rule that the NFL has taken several years ago, that is the reason that this catch was taken away from Dez Bryant, the Cowboys. I remember I was watching the game when Calvin Johnson made a big catch like this against the Bears. It was in September. And this is the play that a lot of the Lions fans are laughing about and saying, we know how he feels. We saw the same thing happen to us back in 2010 when Calvin Johnson made a catch. I'll include a link both to this catch and to the catch by Calvin Johnson. The only difference is Dez Bryant's catch came in a crucial divisional playoff game. And, Calvin Johnson's catch came in a regular September night, I think it was a night game against the Bears. But not only that, I gotta say, and I'm not just saying this because I'm a Cowboys fan or a hater of Detroit or anything like that. I like the Lions fine, but Dez Bryant's catch here was about 2, 3, 4 times more acrobatic than was Calvin Johnson's catch against the Bears that they're hollering about, and they still remember so well. I think here it is when it it hit the ground. You're seeing the pictures now of Dez Bryant when he tried to come through and he landed and the ball, the ground popped the ball loose for just a second, but Dez Bryant reclaimed the ball and grabbed it, as he rolled over. So it was tough to watch. It was tough to do that because I think the Cowboys definitely would have scored a touchdown being so close to the end zone. They would have been pumped up. I think this would have been the knife that would have went through the Green Bay Packers' hearts, and I think Dallas would have held on. I mean, Green Bay, that would have put Dallas up. That would have put Dallas up at that point. And, you know, Green Bay would have had to come back and win. They might have done it. We never know. We'll never know what would have happened, just like we'll never know what would have happened last week when they made that no call against Detroit. Nobody knows, if they had gave Detroit that first down, if Detroit might have won the game. A lot of people think they would have. I personally don't. I think the Cowboys would have still showed exactly what they showed and showed the poise and ability to take it and do what they had to do to win. But the thing that surprised me about this game was when they showed a reverse angle. I think it was a Randall Cobb or whatever receiver it was of the Green Bay Packers on I think it was like a 15-yard play or whatever. Aaron Rodgers threw it to him, and they showed a reverse angle from the front. It looked like he caught it. He put his hands under it, but from the reverse angle, the back angle, you could clearly see that the guy did not catch it. It hit the ground and bounced into his arms. And they called it a catch. They didn't reverse it. This one got reversed because of their rule that they have to complete the catch through the process and have control of the ball the whole way through, including, until they get up from the play. And it definitely did hit the ground with Dez Bryant. I think he made every valiant effort. I don't know how he could have possibly done anything differently or better than he did. But that's the way it works, and I think this play here might be a big reason the NFL needs to look at this catch play and make some kind of revision to it to change it up a little bit. So that plays like this one, and maybe plays like Calvin Johnson's back in 2010, are what I think appropriately called touchdowns. All right, so let's take a look at this rule here. And everything in red up here is basically, talking about the catch itself. What we're looking at here is actually item number 1, player going to the ground near the bottom, last paragraph there. And I'll read it out loud here. It says, if a player goes to the ground in the act of catching a pass, which is what Dez Bryant did, with or without contact by an opponent, that doesn't matter. He must maintain control of the ball throughout the process of contacting the ground, whether in the field of play or in the end zone. If he loses control of the ball and the ball touches the ground before he regains control, the pass is incomplete. If he regains control prior to the ball touching the ground, the pass is complete. So by the wording alone there, Dez Bryant lost the ball for a split second when he came down, from the air. It doesn't give any kind of exception, do you make it a super acrobatic catch a mile in the air like Dez Bryant did, and how much of the play looks like a catch, and it doesn't, say, well, if common sense tells you it's a catch, it's a catch. No, the rule doesn't state that. So the refs got this right, While I think it should have been a catch, the referees absolutely got it right based on the rules that the NFL has in place. So I can't be upset about that, It's a bittersweet loss to the Green Bay Packers. Hats off to the Green Bay Packers. They did everything that they had to do to beat the Cowboys. They played a phenomenal game. Both teams did. I thought Tony Romo and Aaron Rodgers both played their hearts out, and you could see Aaron Rodgers was hurting. You could see him limping on the field, his calf, which I'm sure his calf was no better today because of what happened 2 weeks ago when Ndamukong Suh stepped on his leg and looked to put all his weight right there on his calf. So it is what it is. Hats off to the Green Bay Packers. They deserve the win. I'm not going to take this away from the Packers. I you know, I wish them luck as they continue on throughout the playoffs here and in Seattle and in the Super Bowl if they should beat Seattle. So I wish it was my Cowboys. You know, I think that if that catch had been called a catch, like I don't think it's just Cowboy fans that are looking at this and going, how is that not a catch? You know, I think no matter who you're a fan of, I think you're looking at that play and say, you know what, man, that hurts. That's hard to believe that that's not a catch. And I think because of that, I really have a feeling that the NFL will probably take a look at this play in the offseason sometime and maybe tweak that rule and change that rule all because of this play here. Because I think, like I say, I think to any common observer, anybody watching, common sense, watching the play go out and you know, real time, not when you slow it down and sit there and pause the video with the ball touching the ground for a minute. Yeah, of course, then when you do that, it looks like it's not a catch. But when you play the video real time, I think anybody thinks that's a phenomenal, superb catch by Dez Bryant. I just don't know what he could have done any differently to, you know, to do it better. I think, you know, if this been a play that Michael Irvin had done back in the 90s when the Cowboys, you know, won the Super Bowls, if Michael Irvin or any player had done this back in the 80s or 90s and the same exact play happened, ball contacting the ground and everything, it would have went down as one of the best plays in NFL history, one of the best catches in NFL history, no doubt about it. So you can't take anything from the spirit and desire and the heart of Dez Bryant on this particular catch. It's going to be looked at for decades, you know, for many, many years. It's going to be looked at as probably the reversal. This game will probably end up going and being called the reversal because of this play. I wouldn't doubt that at all. Just like, you know, the championship game between the Cowboys and the 49ers in 81 or 82 or whatever. I think it was 82. The catch went down as called the catch. This play will probably be called the reversal just because of this. And I think the NFL probably will tweak this rule. When they tweak the rule, though, they have to be really careful about how they word it again, that they don't go too far, and that suddenly they have plays that we think are incomplete being called catches just based on the rule by itself and the wording. They have to be very, very careful about how they word that rule. Like I say, that they don't go too far the other way. But I am proud of my Dallas Cowboys. My Cowboys played their hearts out. I think my Cowboys beat all expectations from almost anybody out there that knows the NFL, that knows, you know, what the Cowboys defense looked like last year, knows that Romo had back surgery, you know, at the end of last season based after that hit with the Redskin game. And, you know, I predicted Dallas to win 4 games before this season because I didn't think the defense would be nearly as improved as they did, especially after they lost to Marcus Ware. You know, on defense, they lost their best defensive player, and they had other losses as well. I didn't think they were going to be able to do as well as they did with a bunch of, you know, guys that got off the street, basically. But Rod Marinelli, give him all the credit. He's one guy that I hope the Cowboys can wrap up and re-sign. It's going to be really sad to see Dallas lose Rod Marinelli as a defensive coach next year, and that's probably what's going to happen. I'm sure they're going to lose him. I'm sure Dallas will re-sign Jason Garrett. I don't think any other teams are going to want him. They might surprise me, but you know, all we can do as the Cowboys, as Cowboy fans, is, you know, look at this game and learn and try and get better. You know, what really hurts me about this is because, you know, I know Romo's getting older. I know guys like Jason Witten. They're an exceptional tight end that's going to be in the Hall of Fame. I know they're getting older in years. And as a Cowboy fan all my life, as a Cowboy fan who's watched Tony Romo and watched the scrutiny that he's been through, you know, for 9 years now, since he took over for Drew Bledsoe in that 2006 game against the Giants, I've wanted nothing more after all this than to see guys, classy guys in the Cowboys like Jason Witten and Tony Romo. I want to see them go all the way, you know. I want to see them. I think they're deserving to be in the Super Bowl, to win that Super Bowl, and to see their smiles on their faces and their ecstatic happiness because I think they deserve guys like Jason Witten and guys like Tony Romo, who have been through more scrutiny than any NFL quarterback in the history of the NFL. No quarterback has been through as much scrutiny as poor old Tony Romo. And I think he's got enough talent. I think he's got enough heart. I think he's done enough for his team already. I think he deserves to hold that trophy up. And it would be so nice to see that. I think it would be such an amazing moment to share with my Cowboys. And I'm sure this is, no different than any other passionate fan for any team out there. Detroit Lion fans, I'm sure they would love to see the same thing for Matthew Stafford, and other guys on their team that they consider classy or think that deserve that moment. But it is hard to see. It's a bittersweet moment. Hats off, like I said, to the Green Bay Packers. I wish them well as they continue and go up to Seattle. Can't take anything away from them. They did everything they had to do to win the game, and exceptional game by the offense and the defense. Aaron Rodgers, Lacey, Jordy Nelson didn't have as big a game as I figured he would, but they had an exceptional game, and hats off to them. With that, I want to go ahead and say hats off to the Dallas Cowboys. Hats off to all you fellow Cowboy fans out there. I know this is a bittersweet loss. I know it hurts. But you got to be proud of our Cowboys. You got to be proud of what they did, especially when you look at their expectations before the season. You got to be proud of the Cowboys, and hopefully we can go back in and give it another fight next year. Hopefully we'll be able to re-sign some of the guys we need to re-sign to make that happen, both offense and defense. I definitely want to keep some of these guys, Rolando McClain and others, Mincy. Some of these guys did exceptional job for the Cowboys on the defense, and I hope Dallas is able to go ahead and keep them next year, re-sign them to bigger contracts. So with that, again, big hats off to the Indianapolis Colts with their victory over Denver. That was awesome. It's going to be awesome to see them go up against the Patriots next week. I'm rooting for the Colts. I'd love to see Andrew Luck with that Super Bowl victory, so I'm rooting for the Colts from now on. Be sure you leave your comments down below, guys. Let me know what you guys think of this catch, of this game, of anything in general, whatever it is. Be sure you give me a subscription. If you're not subscribed to me already, you can click here to subscribe in the upper right so you get notification of all my videos. Go ahead and leave those comments down below, and be sure you rate my video. Thanks for watching, everybody. This has been Zaxter99. Take care.